Many people believe their legs weaken with time, but my experience shows something quieter. When I talk with people past 60, I often hear them mention small changes they blame on age. They move a little slower, their calves tire more easily, some pause in the morning to feel steady. These things may seem normal, but they often come from changes inside the body, not just from age. I meet many people who eat well and keep good routines. Yet after 60, the body does not take in nutrients the same way. The vitamins and minerals that once helped your muscles, bones, and nerves work together begin to fade with time. They fade slowly, and they fade without warning. This slow decline does not cause problems right away. It starts with very small shifts. Many people think they are just a little tired or not fully awake. Some say they hold the side of a chair when standing up. Others feel their calves respond more slowly, as if their legs need extra time to catch up. What few people realize is that these changes relate to 7 key nutrients. These are things the body truly needs to keep the legs strong and steady each day. They are not unusual nutrients. They are simply easy to overlook. And when the body no longer keeps enough of them, the legs tire faster, balance slips, and recovery during sleep becomes less effective. That is why I want you to stay with this video until the end. Not to add worry, but to help you see that the body can still improve clearly, even after 60, when you understand what is missing and support it at the right time. I will start with the most familiar nutrient, a name almost everyone has heard. Then we will move to the ones people rarely mention, but that make a real difference when taken in the evening. I am Dr. Robert Ellison. I have spent more than 30 years working with people over 50 in the United States. Through those years, I have seen many regain comfort and strength in their legs simply by adjusting a few nutrients at night. And now, to begin this journey, let's talk about the most familiar nutrient, the one many of us are missing without knowing it. When I explain why the legs change over time, many people are surprised. The body works very differently from what they thought. It is not because they failed to care for themselves. The truth is, after 60, the muscles, bones, and nerves no longer work together the same way. Muscles take longer to recover. Bones need steadier support, and the nerves in the legs become more sensitive when the body lacks certain nutrients. What few people think about is that most of the repair happens at night. While we sleep, the muscles quietly recover from the day, the nerve signals reset, and the legs get ready for the next morning. But for this process to work well, the body needs the right nutrients. When even one of them drops, the repair is interrupted. And the next morning, the legs send small signals. The first step feels a bit slow. The calves feel slightly tight, or balance feels just a little unsure. That is why, in this video, I want to take you from the most familiar nutrients, the names everyone has heard, to the ones people rarely notice, but that make a clear difference when taken at the right time. Each nutrient has its own role, and when the body uses them in the evening, recovery becomes natural and far more comfortable. And now, to begin this journey, let's start with the simplest, most familiar nutrient, the one many people our age are missing more than they realize. When we talk about familiar nutrients, many people feel they already understand them. But after years walking with people past 60, I found something important. Sometimes the familiar names are the ones we overlook the most. Vitamin D3 is like that. Everyone has heard of it, but not everyone has enough. D3 is often mentioned for bone health. That is true, but it does not tell the whole story. Few people realize that D3 also affects muscle response, leg balance, and the way the body recovers after a long day of standing or walking. Many people tell me they feel they walk a little slower or feel slightly unsteady when they stand up, as if their legs need a few seconds to find their rhythm again. After 60, the body no longer makes D3 from sunlight as well as before. Even people who walk outside and keep good habits may see their D3 levels slowly go down. And this drop does not cause sudden changes. It starts with very small signs. The calves tire faster. The first steps in the morning feel dull, or standing for a while feels less steady than before. The truth is, D3 works strongest at night. When the body rests, The muscles use D3 to rebuild the fibers tired from the day. The bones also use that quiet time to stay firm. When D3 is not enough, the repair does not finish fully. And the next morning, the legs tell you through small signals. The first step feels heavy, the calves feel tight, or the body does not feel as steady. I once met a woman of 67. She walked every afternoon and ate quite well, but she told me her legs felt a beat behind each morning when she got out of bed. Not painful, just slower to respond. After taking D3 in the evening for a while, she said her mornings felt easier, and her calves no longer felt tight. It was not anything magical. Her body finally had what it had been missing. What I want you to see is that D3 is not only for bones. It shapes how your legs work each day, how you stand, how you step, and how steady you feel. And D3 is only the beginning. Because to keep the legs quick and steady, the body also needs another nutrient. Vitamin B12, the one that supports the nerves in the legs, and the one many people our age are missing more than they think. If D3 helps your legs stay strong and steady, B12 affects how you control your legs. It shapes the signals your body sends into every step. And this is the nutrient many of us are missing more than we think. B12 supports the nerves. With enough B12 signals from the brain reach the legs clearly and quickly. But after 60, the body has a harder time absorbing B12 from food. Even with good meals, your B12 level may still fall without any clear warning. It only shows up through very small changes in everyday life. Many people tell me their feet feel a little numb at the end of the day. Some notice that when moving from bright light to darkness, their legs react half a beat slower. Others say they no longer feel the ground as clearly as before. Not pain, just a slight blur under the feet. These signs may seem small, but they are the body's way of saying the nerves need support. And B12 has something in common with D3. The body uses it most at night. While you sleep, the nerves in your legs use B12 to refresh their signals, the way you would tune a connection so the legs respond fast the next morning. When B12 drops, that process slows down, and you may notice it as soon as the day begins. The first step feels unsure, or when you turn out of bed, your legs need a few extra seconds to follow the movement. I once walked with a man of 72. He told me that when standing up from a chair, his legs sometimes felt like they didn't catch the signal in time. Not a full loss of balance, just slower than usual. After adjusting his B12 for a while, he said his legs felt quicker, and the light numbness each afternoon almost disappeared. His words were simple, but they showed exactly what the body tries to do. Each night, keep the nerve signals clear and strong. What I want you to see is that B12 is not unfamiliar. We have all heard of it, but because it feels familiar, many people overlook it. And when our age group absorbs B12 less easily, this shortage becomes a reason for slower reactions, mild numbness, and quicker fatigue in the legs. And B12 is still not the nutrient that affects tight calves, night cramps, or those sudden muscle squeezes at night. There is another factor, the one that helps the muscles relax and recover in the evening. Magnesium. When we talk about controlling the legs, B12 plays a major part. But if your calves feel tight in the afternoon, or if you get small night twitches, that often connects to another nutrient. It is the one your muscles use to relax and recover: magnesium. Magnesium is the mineral your muscles need to let go. With it, the fibers in your calves can move from tight to soft in a natural way. But after 60, magnesium in the body often drops quietly. Even with steady meals, the body absorbs less magnesium than it once did, and the legs become tired and more likely to cramp by the end of the day. Many people I walk with tell me that at night, as soon as they lie down, their calves jump a little. Some say they are sleeping and a cramp wakes them, forcing them to stretch the leg quickly. No one enjoys these moments, yet many think they are simply signs of age. The truth is, that is the muscle lacking the magnesium it needs to calm itself. What surprises many people is that magnesium works best in the evening. When we start to slow down, the body shifts to repair mode. Magnesium helps the muscles truly relax, helps you sleep deeper, and lowers the chance of nighttime cramps. You may notice this on nights when you sleep well. Your legs feel lighter in the morning. On restless nights, your calves often feel heavy and tight. I remember a woman around 70. She loved gardening. But each afternoon, when she stood up from the grass, her calves felt pulled and sometimes jumped a few times before settling. She said it worried her a little, but she did not know why. After taking magnesium in the evening for a while, she told me her legs felt softer and the night cramps almost disappeared. Her words were simple, but they described exactly what magnesium brings: a quiet easing from the inside. One more thing matters. The form of magnesium affects how well it is absorbed. After 60, gentler forms like magnesium glycinate often work better. They absorb well and stay comfortable for most people. When taken in the evening, they support sleep and muscle repair, two things your legs rely on for strength and flexibility. Magnesium is not rare, but many people our age lack it without knowing. And when magnesium is low, the legs cramp more easily, tire faster, and have trouble relaxing after a long day of moving. But magnesium still isn't the last nutrient, because if the muscles need help relaxing, the joints and blood flow need something else. So, a nutrient many people know, but often underestimate: omega-3. When magnesium helps the muscles relax and eases those night twitches, there is another nutrient working quietly in the background. It helps the joints feel less stiff. It helps blood move down to the feet more easily. It helps each step feel lighter instead of heavy. That nutrient is omega-3. Many people have heard of omega-3 mostly for heart health, but few notice that the legs rely on omega-3 every day to move smoothly. When omega-3 is enough, the joints in the knees, ankles, and feet move with better ease. When it is low, the joints feel tight, a little dry, and not as smooth as before. I once met a man in his early 60s. He enjoyed walking each morning, but in recent years his knees no longer felt easy. He said that stepping off a curb felt as if the joint was taking more pressure than it should. Not sharp pain, just a stiffness he could not describe well. When we looked at his habits, he had not taken omega-3 regularly for many years. After adding omega-3 in the evening for a while, he told me his legs got into rhythm more easily in the morning. A small change, but a very real one. For people past 60, the joints become more sensitive to missing nutrients. Omega-3 helps ease quiet tension in the muscles. It helps the joints move freely, and it helps blood carry nutrients down to the legs more effectively. When circulation is better, the feet and calves feel less heavy, less numb, and less tired. Better circulation also affects balance, something many people notice only when their legs feel not as steady when standing or turning. Another thing to remember is that omega-3 supports recovery at night. During sleep, the body needs steady blood flow to bring nutrients to the joints. Omega-3 helps keep that process steady. Those mornings when your knees feel stiff and take a few minutes to warm up again often show long-term low omega-3. I once heard a woman around 65 say she always needed a few seconds for her legs to wake up when rising from the sofa. No pain, just stiffness. Omega-3 made the biggest difference for her. Later on, she said her first step felt smoother, and her knees no longer felt pulled when climbing a few stairs. Omega-3 is familiar, yet many people underestimate it. But it is a foundation for flexible joints, steady balance, and legs that do not feel heavy by the end of the day. Still, omega-3 is not the strongest nutrient for keeping the legs stable after 60. There is another one less familiar, but essential for guiding calcium to the right places and keeping the knees from growing stiff over time: vitamin K2. When omega-3 helps the joints move smoothly, there is another nutrient that decides whether your legs stay steady over time. Not many people know it, but it quietly shapes how your bones and joints respond each day. That nutrient is vitamin K2. Many people have heard of vitamin K, but they often confuse K1 and K2. K2 has a very different job. It guides calcium to the right place into the bones instead of letting it settle where it should not, like in blood vessel walls or around the knees. When K2 is low, the bones may not be as strong as you think, and the joints may feel stiffer, especially in the morning or after standing for a long time. I once met a man who was 72. He said his knees did not hurt much, but felt heavy and slow whenever he stepped down a stair. He had taken calcium for years, yet the stiffness kept growing. When we looked at his diet, he was getting almost no K2, something many people our age experience. After adding K2 for a while, he told me his knees held less tension, and stepping off the porch felt easier. K2 works quietly, but the results are clear. When the body has enough K2, calcium moves into the bones as it should. The bones in the feet, ankles, and knees become steadier. But when K2 is low, the bones may weaken slowly without clear symptoms. The signs are small, standing up a bit slowly, feeling the knee stretch on a slope, or sensing that short walks do not feel fully steady. Many people do not know that K2 works strongest when paired with D3. If D3 helps the body absorb calcium, K2 guides the calcium to the right place. Together, they help the bones stay nourished and reduce unwanted calcium around the knees. And because most of this process happens at night, taking K2 in the evening can help more than many expect. I once worked with a woman who was 68. Each morning, her knees would not cooperate for the first few minutes. No sharp pain, just stiffness and the need to stand still before taking a step. After pairing D3 and K2 for a while, she said her mornings felt lighter, and the stiffness eased noticeably. The changes were quiet, but very real, just like the way K2 works in the body. K2 may not be as famous as D3 or omega-3, but it is essential for strong bones, flexible joints, and steady legs each day. Still, the journey of your legs is not only about bones and joints. To have enough energy for every step, your body needs another nutrient, one many people over 50 lack without knowing it: CoQ10. When K2 helps the bones and joints stay steady, there is another factor that decides whether your legs have enough strength for the whole day. I often call this nutrient the power source of the muscles. When it is low, the legs tire faster, feel heavier, and lose endurance. That nutrient is CoQ10. CoQ10 is what the body uses to create energy for each cell. It is especially important for cells that work nonstop, like the muscles in the calves, the knees, and the hips. When we are young, we have more CoQ10. The body reacts quickly, endurance is better, and each step feels light. After 50, CoQ10 slowly drops. After 60, or the change becomes clearer and the legs feel it first. Many people I walk with tell me they cannot understand why a short walk makes them tired, or why standing in the kitchen for 20 or 30 minutes leaves the calves feeling worn out. It is not because they are inactive. It is because the muscles do not have enough energy to work the way they once did. I remember a man around 65. He walked every afternoon, but each year his legs felt weaker. No pain, no numbness, just a quicker sense of fatigue, as if the muscles were working harder than before. After adding CoQ10 in the evening for a while, he said his afternoons felt easier, and he could walk longer without heavy legs. His words were simple, but they explained exactly what CoQ10 does. It gives the muscles the energy they need. Few people know that CoQ10 also affects circulation. When CoQ10 is low, blood moves to the legs more slowly. The calves tire faster and feel heavy near the end of the day. When the body has enough CoQ10, blood flows more easily. The muscles do not strain as much, and the heaviness fades. There is another point many people are not aware of. Statin medications, cholesterol medicines, often lower CoQ10 much more than normal. Many people using statins start to feel leg fatigue after a few years without knowing why. When they restore CoQ10, they often notice clear improvement in endurance and lightness in the legs. CoQ10 works best at night, when the body begins its recovery cycle. During sleep, the muscles use CoQ10 to refill their energy for the next day. When levels are low, the process is incomplete. And the next morning, the legs signal it with heaviness, slow steps, or low strength. The truth is, CoQ10 will not make you stronger in a moment. It works like a steady power line that feeds the muscles so your legs can stay strong through the day. But energy alone is not enough. For quick reactions, steady steps, and clear signals between the feet and the brain, the body needs one more nutrient, a small factor that matters greatly: vitamin B6. When CoQ10 gives the legs enough energy for the day, Vitamin B6 plays a quieter role that matters just as much. It helps the nerves and the muscles speak clearly to each other. Many people past 60 tell me their legs do not react as quickly as before. No pain, no weakness, just a small delay. And in many cases, that delay comes from low B6. Vitamin B6 helps the body make the messengers of the nervous system. These messengers tell the legs when to tighten, when to release, and how to stay steady. When B6 drops, those signals are not as clear. You may not notice it right away, but you feel it in small moments. A toe that reacts slowly, a gentle twitch at night, a sense that the legs are not listening as quickly as before. Many people have told me they cannot explain why their legs feel sluggish some days, even when they feel fine otherwise. When we check their diet and their B6 levels, many are low without knowing it. After 60, the body processes B6 less effectively, and food alone often is not enough to support the nerves and muscles. B6 works especially well when paired with B12. These two nutrients support the nerve signals that travel to the legs. If B12 helps the nerves send messages, B6 helps those messages stay sharp and steady. When both are low, the legs may feel tingling, light buzzing, or slow reactions when changing position. I remember a woman around 70. She told me her legs did not hurt, but they often had a soft tremble at the end of the day. Not from fatigue, more like the muscles wanted to tighten, but did not finish the movement. After taking B6 in the evening, along with the B12 she already used, she said that feeling slowly faded. Her legs felt calmer at night. And what surprised her most was the next morning. Her first steps felt tidier, with less hesitation when she got out of bed. B6 also affects sleep quality. When the nervous system is not supported well, sleep can be disturbed by small twitches or soft muscle jumps in the calves. With enough B6, the body relaxes more easily, and the legs rest more deeply at night. This helps the natural recovery complete itself. The truth is, vitamin B6 does not create a sudden, visible change. It improves the way the legs react, the way balance feels, and the way the muscles and nerves work together through the day. It is like adjusting the focus on a signal. When it becomes clearer, every movement feels smoother and more natural. And now, we have reached all 7 key nutrients. But to help you understand how they work together and how to use them safely, I will walk you through a simple summary in the next part, Made for Life After 60. When we look back at the 7 nutrients we just walked through together, I want you to remember one simple truth. The legs do not weaken just because of age. They weaken when the body slowly loses the things that have supported the muscles, bones, and nerves your whole life. And the truth is, those losses can be replaced when you know what is missing and give the body support at the right time. You have seen how D3 helps the muscles and bones work together more steadily. You understand how B12 keeps the nerve signals to the legs clear and quick. Magnesium helps the muscles relax at night, something the legs truly need after 60. Omega-3 eases the quiet tension many people blame on walking too much. K2 works quietly, but it helps the bones stay firm and the joints move smoothly. CoQ10 brings the steady energy that keeps the legs from tiring too quickly. And B6 helps each small movement feel smoother and more natural. None of these nutrients are unusual. After 60, the body simply does not keep enough of them, and the legs begin to send small signals. A slower step, tiring sooner, feeling less steady when standing up. These signals are not warnings of danger. They are gentle reminders that the body needs a little support. I have met many people who understood these 7 nutrients and took them in the evening. A few weeks later, they told me their legs felt lighter, their mornings were easier, and the unsteadiness faded quietly. Not a miracle, just the body finally receiving what it had been missing for years. If you are 60 or 65 or older, please remember this. Your body can still recover. Your legs can still regain stability. And your steps can feel steadier when you give your body what it truly needs. In the description, I have left a summary to make everything easier to follow. If you are using any of these nutrients or dealing with something specific in your legs, you may share it in the comments. I try to read and help whenever I can. And if this video felt helpful, a simple like or share may help someone your age understand their legs better. If you want more information that truly matters for older adults, you may follow the channel. I will keep trying to bring you the most useful guidance I can. Thank you for staying with me until the end. I wish you a peaceful evening and a gentle morning ahead.